Ladies and gentlemen.
Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening.
Ready.
Kia ora, welcome to TD News. I'm Ellie Fura.
And I'm Kohu Strand. In today's stories, a new crime wave is sweeping the country in form of violent graffiti. Scientists have invented an invisibility cloak. We helped them find it. And the latest in weather around the country. But first, a story that will turn your world upside down.
If you think the world is getting more and more topsy-turvy, it turns out you're right. Builders in Germany have built an upside-down house, and before you think they may have read the plans upside down, they did it on purpose. The wacky abode was built as a tourist attraction, as well as being a comment on the state of the world. The house is 23 feet tall and rests on its roof. It has steel beams in the attic. Inside the house there are beds screwed up into the ceiling, upside-down wardrobes and an upside-down kitchen, and even an upturned bathroom, though it's not known if anyone has tried to have a bath in it or go to the toilet. Normally a house like this would take 3 weeks to build. This one took over 4 months because workers kept getting confused by the strange angles of the walls. Many tourists visiting the house complain of feeling sick and dizzy after just a few minutes inside. Rebecca, who is inside the house. How are you feeling, Rebecca?
Thanks, Ellie. I'm here with the owner of the house, Ham, and I'm feeling very dizzy. So what made you decide to build this upside-down house?
Because when people pass, I want them to go, wow.
What comment do you feel that the house makes about the state of the world?
I think it might be a landmark.
What are some of the challenges of living in a house where everything's upside down?
Cooking, eating, and most of all, sitting.
When people come to see the house, do you like to hear the feedback on how the house looks?
No, because they do bad feedback.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Rebecca on OnTV News. Back to you, Ellie, in the studio.
Thanks, Rebecca. Even watching that makes me feel like vomiting. And now for a story that is truly out of sight. Look out, Harry Potter. The world of science is catching up to the world of magic. Scientists in Europe have created a 3D invisibility cloak, which can hide objects by bending light waves. It has been found that light can be controlled using special tiny crystals that make objects disappear. So far, scientists have made small objects such as coins disappear, but hope it won't be long before they hide cars, planes, and even people. People have always dreamed of making themselves invisible. One top scientist says the possibilities are endless and we are very excited. However, since inventing the invisibility cloak, the scientists have having trouble finding it. As soon as they put it down somewhere, it just disappears. Inventor of the cloak said, "It appears that we are having trouble finding our things too, like their lunch, which they think may be underneath the cloak. What will this invention actually be used for? Hoping to see through the reasons behind the invisibility cloak." Here's one of our spot reporter, Rebecca, with more on the story.
Hello, I'm Renee, and with me today is Brooke and Megan, the scientists behind this invisibility cloak. Hi girls, and thanks for joining us today. What made you want to invent an invisibility cloak?
Because, well, we thought it would be awesome.
Can you show me how the invisibility cloak works?
It is.
Whoa, that's amazing! What do you hope the cloak will be used for?
People will use it for secret stuff.
Do you think people will do bad stuff with it?
Well, I don't think so, but I can't be responsible for other people's action.
Well, that makes things very clear. Thanks for joining us. Back to you, Ellie and Kahu in the studio.
Thanks. And how is this for an interesting yarn? A new wave of graffiti crime is covering the country thanks to an underground gang known as the Midnight Knitters. These wall-waving criminals are covering trees, branches and lampposts with small jerseys and scarves under the cover of darkness. Police say the knitted activities of the gang are illegal because their woolly crimes are being done on public property without permission. The popularity of wool and graffiti is growing more and more. Public objects are being wrapped up every night, but the problem is growing. Police say that and warn that the Midnight Knitters aren't caught soon. Every tree, lamppost and traffic light in the country will be warmly dressed against the cold. The problem is spinning out of control. They're a close-knit group of dyed-in-the-wool criminals. We're stitching together a case, but it's not seamless. There is no real pattern to the crimes. A police spokesman said today, so far the criminal knitters have escaped arrest and continue to pull wool over the eyes of both the public and the police. We now go to a secret location where our investigative reporter Logan, who has an exclusive interview with one of the Midnight Knitters gang.
Thanks, Ellie. I'm Logan, and joining me in the top secret location is a member of the Midnight Knitters gang. Hello, Tasman, and thanks for joining us. What's led you into the dark underworld of knitted graffiti?
Well, it was my grandmother. She used to sneak out of her retirement home at night and teach me how to do all this.
Do you see yourself as a criminal? Why? Why not?
No, all I do is make ugly things beautiful.
Apart from trees, lampposts and traffic lights, what else would you like to graffiti with your wilderness?
Well, I think I might start on animals next. I think I could make a cozy jacket for a cow.
What's your favourite colour as for knitting?
Well, yellow, because it's sunny and makes the world look happy.
Thanks for your time, Tasman of the Midnight Knitters gang. We now go over to Olivia with the weather update.
Thank you, Logan, and good evening, New Zealand. Let's have a look at tomorrow's weather. Starting in the far north, in Kaitaia, look out for some pretty flash flooding and raindrops as big as your head. If you're going outside, make sure you wear a hat. Moving down to Auckland, there'll be a mix of fair conditions and unfair conditions. But those are the conditions, and you'll just have to accept them. There will be no weather at all for the Bay of Plenty. It's taking a short holiday, but is expected to be back for the weekend. In Napier and Hastings, the weather will be sometimes changeable and sometimes not. We have really no idea what will happen there. In the Taranaki, a mild depression brings with it a very dull day. With no highlights at all, it'll be overcast and gloomy all morning. But things should cheer up by the evening, so don't worry, everything will be fine. Wellington will have another capital day. There will be no wind at all, and the day conditions will be so pleasant they'll actually be extreme. In the top of the South Island, Kaikoura can expect to have a good day, meeting friends for lunch, going for a swim and reading the newspapers. But try to stay indoors as the weather will be just terrible. A real mix for Christchurch, which will have some unreasonable rainfall, some sensible wind, moderate thunderstorms and some of very angry snow. And in the lower south, Dunedin will be frosty, cold and unfriendly until late morning, when the sun will pop over for a visit. Everybody likes the sun. That's all from me. Remember, if it's raining outside, that's the weather for you. Good night, New Zealand. Now it's back to the news desk with Ellie and Kahu.
Thanks, Olivia. Well, that's all we have time for. We hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Thank you for all watching. Well, we'll see you again next time. Until then, I'm Kahu.
And I'm Ellie.
Goodbye. In ohora.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are featuring an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1. Scene 1, take 2. Take 2.